Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey! Hi, friends! It's Blake's Buzz. That's me. That's crazy. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm stoked. I've got people that you all know, or a lot of you know. Some of you know. Some of you might know them. I don't know. They've been on the show. Everybody's been on the show a lot. Sort of, especially lately, especially this one guy, this one artist. He's basically a co-host by this time. But I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm trying to click a button. We got to do some ad reads. That's what we're doing. Oh my god, I'm just tripping over myself. My goodness, because tonight's show is sponsored by the wonderful Michael Gecko Adams. He's got a great series over out at Keen Spot called Hero. And check this out. If you want to keep up with all the cool stuff that Mike's got going on, you go to geckoadams.com. You can sign up for his mailing list. He does a lot of cool stuff, videos and chats and things over there. He's working on some cool stuff too. I love his art. And tell your shops to get Hero on your pull list. If for some reason you can't, the shops can't get it, which they should be able to, since it's circulating. But you can go to the King Spot shop and order you some. You find that link in the description. Friendly reminder: all the wonderful books we talk about tonight will have links in the descriptions. You can just click them and support indie comics. How cool is that? I do that for you. You're welcome. All right. Next up. Oh, I meant to update the graphic because I made a new one, but I forgot, but that's okay. Negative Bird. Oh my goodness. There's so many talented people involved in this campaign, and there's only like 36 hours left or something. It's wrapping up, folks. It's wrapping up. You think we could break 20 grand in the final hours, in the final days? That'd be pretty cool. Some original art options. You get drawn into some of the stories. There's mentorship things. If you're a shop, you could sign up for custom signings and custom retailer deals, because we would love to get this thing in your shops. Check that out. Find the link in the description, or you could use that QR code that I already took away that you probably didn't have time to use. That's okay, because the links are there. Yeah, there's this thing we do at work called Comics Magazine. I don't know if you heard about it. It comes out next week, the 11th. We got this mailing list, and we're going to start putting cool things out on it. So I would sign up for that. Hit that little QR code. Go to comicsmagazine.com. Those are things I would do. Maybe I'm biased, but that's okay. That's okay. You guys watch my show. You like me being biased. If I had the opinions of some asshole you didn't care about, where would we be? I don't know. All right, let's get some people out here. First up, this is the creator of Monster Matador. But we're not talking kaiju tonight, folks. No. Because he's got a brand new book on Kickstarter called Mercy in Prison. Let's get him out, Mr. Steven Prince. Whoa! Okay. I know. How's it going, sir?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back. It's been a while.
Right. You missed
changed. It's changed since I've been here last night. The energy is off. It's off the hook, man. It's off the charts.
We try to keep it. We try to stay excited about comics.
I feel like I need an 8-ball right now just to kind of get it.
Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine if I made enough money to do hard drugs?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing you're in comics.
I know it's a good thing they keep me humble.
It's never gonna happen.
I'm so excited to have you back on the show and catch up and talk about this new book. I guess let's go ahead and bring out your cohort here. This phenomenal artist, some of you might have seen from a really cool book like White Ash, Dream Quest, Queen of Mars, and now the book we were just talking about, Mercy in Mother Buzzin' Prison. Guess who it is? It's Mick Byers!
I think I'm just going to take my earbuds out and set them across the table so that I can.
You gotta get your
I'm trying real hard every week to lose my voice after the show. That's what I'm going for. It hasn't happened yet. It gets close though. I get a little scratchy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a little sip of the old water.
I can't imagine why.
It's just I did this. I did this like all week for Comics Pro. I was just running around. I was just like, had my camera out, and you kind of had to yell because it was loud. I was just like, "Hi, I'm Blake." Yeah, I still have to edit all that. I did. Charlie, I interviewed Charlie. He came up. He was like, I heard you in the other room. Charlie comes up and I gave him a big hug, and I was like, dude, can you do an interview real quick? And he was like, yeah. And like, there were a couple people in the ballroom, and I was like, I'm about to be real loud, sorry. And I was like, Charlie, mother message like, wow. And he was like, wow, Blake, you're even louder in person. It was cool. It was cool to meet a whole bunch of people that was a crazy week. Anyway, we got one more guest. Like I said, he's more of a co-host now. He's basically, I'm just gonna read the same joke I've done 3 times. I pre-write some of my intros, right? Anyway, but he's basically a co-host at this point. But that doesn't even, hold on. This is why we shouldn't write our intro. All right. You know him for dicks, but you don't know what he's got on Kickstarter right now, because it is something so fresh and tasty. I'm just so excited to talk about it and see where he came up with all these wonderful ideas. He is a phenomenal illustrator, storyteller, ridiculous, lovable human being. I call him a friend, Richard Fairgray, folks. Oh my goodness. Look at all these wonderful people. Wow, stop. Oh, hey, all right, everybody's here.
I gotta say, like, if you had a producer, they would lose their mind trying to figure out your levels.
Yeah, that checks out. Oh, me having a producer, that'd be wild. I produced a show, and I'm not that good at it. I'm really good at I make like meme slides for our show, and that are kind of like funny and go with the news articles and things. That's what I'm there for. And I click the buttons sometimes. I'm okay at clicking buttons. Anyway, everybody, tonight's show, we realized last week that the topic of the show was never actually discussed in the hour and a half conversation. So tonight, I'm gonna do the thing. I want to say we are talking about risks in comics, and I think this is a good group to talk about it, because all of you now have taken the risk into not safe for work categories, and some of you have. Richard especially has, like, with his Dick Books by Richard has really he's made it a brand, and you know, like the sketches and stuff he does is super impressive. You know, Mick, you've embraced the adult side of comics for a long while, with your own stuff with Queen of Mars, and then also, you know, variant covers and other things. And but the big risk taker here, and I'm excited for you, Steven, because I've known you a long time, and you've talked about having these other ideas, you know, but you felt loyal to your Matador audience. You didn't want to stray from it. You didn't want to come into a place where, like, you were juggling things, and you know, your core audience didn't get the books that they wanted. That was always something you thought about. But here we are. You got a new book out, and things are exciting. Things are going well. You're all like 2/3 of the way funded or so. You're almost there, basically. And so, like, how. I want to start with you. I'll start with you and Mick just real quick. I'm also bad at this. We're doing this right tonight as well. Let us know. All right. What is Mercy? Why is she in prison? What is it? What genre? This, like, I'm really interested in the not safe for work horror genre. And for being not safe for work, it's not, there's not as much sexiness in it as you think, right? Like, when there's most of the time when there's naked people are covered in blood, maybe scars, but like, let the audience know what this is about and how this came to be.
So I'm a big fan of I mean, movies, but exploitation movies from the 70s, and this kind of grew out of that love. And it's a series of one-shots that follows this young woman. Takes place in 1975, She ends up in a Filipino prison because her one night stand used her as a drug mule, and she wants to get out and get revenge. But there's someone else in the prison that wants revenge too on the guards, and they made a deal with an Aswang, which is kind of like a Filipino vampire, and they go on a rampage in the prison. So now she's got to fight the Aswang to.
It's always the quiet ones.
It's always the quiet ones, but NSFW it's such a weird term.
I mean,
it's
kind of what I was intrigued about.
To me, I look at it. It's basically an R-rated comic, a hard R-rated comic. Meaning, there's nudity, there's a bunch of stuff in there, but it's not hard. I mean, it's like some of the books I know veer into more hardcore sex or whatever.
Yeah, I'm working on one right now, and it is crazy. I had to censor some of the pages for the Kickstarter that's about to come out and the pre-launch page, and like there's one where she's double hogging it, right? Double dog daring it, and I'm like, how do you censor this? And I had to put like a big censor like over her whole face, and I used cute little wolf icons, so it looks like kind of fur. I don't know, it was kind of funny anyway, but yeah, it's my first time seeing something like that, I don't, how do you say full penetration imagery done well, still with a good story, so very, very intriguing, right? But you guys are dealing with some also, not trigger warning, like some SA stuff, the guards and the women. There's some situations, so we're never seeing anything or put into any like gross situations, right? But there's things that are golden shower about. Why this project? Why this project out of and why now? Why this specific time? What made you finally want to do it?
I mean, I've been kind of looking for something forever, but this one, the way it was designed as one shots just had it make more sense. I tend to write these big stories, and like I didn't really want to undertake something big, like 5 issues, 6 issues. I don't know, this one came together pretty quick. It was just like the idea clicked right away. And honestly, I mean, it's Mick's fault.
Okay, there's the story. What's that mean?
Steve pitched it to me at San Diego last year, and when he pitched it to me, it was really like thoughtful exploration about power dynamics and the struggle of people to survive. And
you get the script, and it's like naked chicks killed by vampires.
But I'm gonna add some elements if that's okay with you. Just a few commercial elements. That's all. And it was just, my precondition for being on the book.
Right.
You guys known each other for a while?
I mean, we met a couple of years ago. I mean, Mick, if you don't know, in San Diego Comic-Con, I fell in love immediately with Mick. He has this shirt. It's like rainbow dolphin.
Yeah, it's Lisa Frank, rainbows and dolphins. It's absolutely beautiful. It's eye-catching. You could see the gleam in this man's eye across the aisle at Small Press, and that's all she wrote.
But I mean, I knew Clay's work. I knew Mick's work because I'm friends with Clay. And then this year, I think we got to know each other a little better. But it was funny because he came over to the table to sign. You were signing, I don't know, one of those books you did for Clay. But I was telling him about Mercy, and he's like, "Oh, I'll do it." And that's basically, and then I went and told Clay, I'm like, "Oh yeah, Mick's gonna do it." And Clay kind of freaked out. He's like, no, Clay's supposed to do a book for me. And I'm like, yeah, but he said he'll do it, it's fine. I'm like, do you even have a script yet? And Clay's like, I don't have a script. So I'm like, well, and then I was talking to Charlie about it, and Charlie was like, ooh. And what I realized, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Mick is." It's because Mick is awesome, and they just want to keep him to themselves.
Keep him under wraps. Yeah.
You know, keep him. Clay was like having like a little hissy. I hope he's watching right now.
I always feel bad. I feel like Clay bullies him. You know, like I've noticed.
Right.
He's like,
what, you know,
Clay's always like,
glad that
you
other
be
people
quiet.
can
You
see
be quiet, Mick. Like, you just get back, sit there and draw.
like
You know,
I
stay
gave
in the
Mick,
office.
I gave Mick a compliment, and he was like, he didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? He's like, you like it? Like, you don't have any.
Want me to
changes?
redo
I'm like,
everything?
I'm like,
You
no,
want me to start over?
Great. This is great. He's like, but Clay makes me redo every page.
Oh goodness. Well, not to stop the Mick jerk off hour, but you guys have some really great variants.
Yeah,
I'm particularly fond of this one is hot. Like
this is Andrea Daly, who does a book called Wicked Town. I think she works in video games as her day job, but she's relatively new, and she's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, she's
That's
great.
Cool. This one's good. This one's good too. This one's like the real horror.
Yeah,
cover,
this is Suspiria, who is huge right now. She's just did a cover for Exquisite Corpses. She's done a bunch of stuff for James Tinian. I mean, she's all over. She does DVD covers for Vinegar Syndrome.
And then this is my cover that I did. You did this, and you just went tits out on it.
I went tits out. I had my wife pose for it. She was clothed, but you know,
it's like
I don't know if she knows it.
Like Alex Ross when he like has his friends pose, you like tie your wife up, and you're just like stay there.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's funny. I was drawing it, and my 7-year-old daughter sort of came up to me and was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, you know. And she saw it, and she's like, "Oh, those are nice boobies. Good job, Dad."
It's good to know that you found your audience.
Yeah, exactly, right? Girl Scouts of America.
And then here we finally get to this is mix interiors that
which are beautiful.
They're great. They're so good. But like I said, everything's covered in blood. Like it's just very bloody.
You know when you treat him well, look at the work he puts out. Because
I know
Clay, he's just
all
like,
it takes.
I just want to get through this.
All I want is for Clay to start emailing Mick, being like, "Hey, I would have redone those if I were you."
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're gonna send him? Is that? He said okay.
Can you get Clay to do a pull quote for the back of the book? I would have had Mick redraw these.
Clay was texting me the whole time, like, "Are you sure? Like, he'll redo it. Don't." I'm like, "No, Clay, it's good. It's actually good. No." And he's like, "No, you gotta beat him down.
You gotta tell him.
I don't want him.
You can't let him get comfortable.
Right. So I don't want him to get ideas."
Speaking of not getting comfortable, what I said earlier about how like this being labeled and not safe for workbook, but how like there's not much sexy. It seems like this when there's beautiful women in the shower, but juxtaposed by a panel of the creepiest fucking cop ever, like licking his lips, right? And so it's just like it's kind of unnerving like that. There's a lot of push and pull. Sometimes you see a big ass titty, but there's a gash through it, right? Like it's just like what's happening here, guys?
That was brilliant. And when Nick, I'm not going to spoil that, but that was great.
Yeah.
Great panel.
Really, really. I mean, the colors, the action, everything was really, really cool. I hope whatever criteria needs to be filled. I hope it happens to that you guys keep doing these and I don't like if you know, no offense to Mick, right? He is, attached to Clay in numerous ways. And there's a toll, right, for those detached periods.
Like this is actually like one of the nice things about it is that, now that, Steven has discovered my brilliance, I have that club to hold over Clay's head. It was like, I don't need you anymore. I can leave you for another man at any moment. Right. So like, tell me to draw it one more time. See what happens.
That should be a pull quote on the back of one of Clay's on the back of one of the Ant books. Right? Like, tell me to draw it one more time, Clay. So if you do more of these, like will it be you and Mick, or are you like, because they're one shots, will you switch up the art teams? Like what are the thoughts on that?
It's Mick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Mick, how'd you feel doing all this? Like, I mean, you've done some battling, right? And Queen of Mars, but you don't really get to go color on it.
My natural inclinations of a storyteller are to find the most boring moments and focus on those. So a lot of the fights in Queen of Mars end up happening off panel because like I'd rather draw the soap opera talking heads. But with Steve's script, like I couldn't, because he wrote in this panel, a fight happened. So I had to like figure that out. And it was, interesting to like spend more time on those sequences than I usually do and try to figure out like, a flow of action from panel to panel, how to keep it interesting for the audience and for me to, like kind of stay in this moment.
And you add, I mean, and you made some really interesting choices too on a lot of those action.
Yeah, and like it was fun. Like,
good.
I mean, because Steve's already sent me the script for the second one, and it's not like the final version of the script, but it's like already in there. It's like I'm trying to figure out, like, how would I work around this? How would I do this? And it's like it's just so different from, especially what I would do myself. But like I've only drawn for 3 people. I've drawn for Steve, I've drawn for Clay, and I've drawn for Charlie. And it's like
that's like
and
the whole Trinity.
2 out of 3 of those can actually write.
Yeah, exactly. 2 out of 3 of those can write.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We just heard Clay say that you once wrote the word "a fight happens in this panel." That's real work.
But it's like they've all got such, different approaches to like all aspects of it, that it's like it's, story content, story pacing, like how they write the script, what they ask for, how they ask for it in the script. And it's like, getting used to, a new writer I haven't worked with, like is always fun, which is why I'm ready to move past Clay now, because I've worked for him so many times that it's just kind of old hat and kind of boring, and no one wants to see that anymore.
Now I gotta know what's it like seeing your pages come back colored by Alex, because I've been a fan of hers for a long time.
I worked with Alex on Dream Quest 3. No, Dream Quest 2. Wait, no, maybe it was Frankenstein 4 worked with Alex. And it's like, I think Alex might have done some of my pieces for Nightmare Theater as well. And like, it's always, I really enjoy like what she does and how she does it. 'Cause like, I wouldn't consider myself a horror artist, because to me, it's like a grittier, like more visceral genre than I usually draw or provide in lines. And like, I feel like Alex brings a lot of that texture and deepness to it that I don't necessarily think about. Like color to me is this like form of magic that I don't really get on any level. And so, like Clay and Steve both be like, what do you think of these colors? And it's like, I think they're gorgeous. And I have no constructive criticism to add, because I don't know how she came up with any of this. Like, no, I have nothing to add here, because it's beautiful.
That's cool.
And it's like, I really like the times I've worked with Alex. I've always really enjoyed like what she's done to the pages.
I was stoked to see her on this, because Steven always jokes. He's always happy, like every time she's on one of his new projects, because he's like, it's a matter of time before like a bigger publisher like sweeps her away with some like big deal or something, which is not unheard of in the Kickstarter circuit, right? Like a lot of illustrators have been picked up. By the way, shout out to
I mean, listen,
John
I
Westhoff,
promise to
Parts
always
on
be small time enough that I'll never leave anyone. Like, no, DC or Marvel are never going to come knocking at my door. You guys are safe. I'm always here for you.
Man, you say that, but like, I mean, do you remember a while back when they did like the World War II pinups, and they did like the DC bombshells and stuff? I mean, dude, that's your fucking jam, man. Like
those are so good, and I'm so bad though. I could never compete with that.
But you have to remember, like we are not that far from that issue of Batman where he pisses himself in the snow, and you are showing your golden shower potential. God, that makes me feel old. We're actually like 20 years away from the one where he pisses himself in the snow, aren't we?
Yeah.
I should read new comics.
It's hard. The more work I get, I read client books like sometimes 3 and 4 times to like figure stuff out and think of like stuff to put in Kickstarter pages, and or like promo, or looking for art to steal for ads or some shit, and like I don't get to read a lot anymore. I'm also stupid and read slow, guys. It's really hard. By the way, part-time comic, I tried to John Westhoff, I apologize. Mick very rudely interrupted your shout out when I was trying
Sorry, I'll see myself out now.
We keep, I really thought about rebranding and having like talking to a illustrator, like someone like, and seeing if they'd like draw me as a hot dog, as a stoned hot dog, right? And like changing my logo and stuff. I really thought about it, but at Comics Pro, I was wearing my Love More, Hate Less, Read Comics shirt, or my sweater, and a few people were like, "Whoa, like Blake's Buzz," and I was like, "What? Yeah, that's me." And then a couple people were just like Sammy DeMonster, her friend, was like, "Oh, dude, I like your shirt." I was like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Oh shit, Sammy, everything you do for indie comics is awesome." She was like, "Oh, cool. Here's my card." I was like, "What?" Nice.
Okay,
and then I tried to get her a Comics the Magazine, but it didn't happen.
But like you say all this, Blake, but like what about if the bee had like the mustard as the stripes?
Oh yeah. Well, I did think about just getting a new bee, like eating a hot dog, like a bee, which doesn't even make any sense, which is also like, like a full-size hot dog compared to a bee. It makes no sense. So if a bee was eating a hot dog, it'd be like the tiniest, silliest little hot dog, and bees don't even like eat meat, right? So I don't think they do. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. No, people would boycott the show if you broke the laws of science.
Yeah.
What about a bee squirting out?
Like 30 viewers would be out of here.
What'd you say? What, squirting it out like it's the honey, but it's like just all over the hot dog.
Oh, like the bees like shitting on it, kind of like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't. If you're offering, yeah, I'll make a T-shirt out of it.
I'm not going to shit on a hot dog, Blake. I'm not offering that. We're past the 10-minute mark. We can say fuck now.
Well, if that's not a good segue into one of the most beautiful indie books I've read in a hot minute, I don't know what is. Richard, I remember actually. Well, no, you've been on the show like kind of 3 times, pretty close.
Yeah, this year,
together. Yeah. But the first time you were talking about this, you had teased a little bit of the covers online because you were doing some cool stuff. You're mixing assets, right? I don't that's not really the word I wanted to use, right? But you're utilizing different media in different ways and overlaying things. It's really fucking cool. Where did the idea come from? Because I remember you like fake smoked a whole pack of cigarettes, right, to get them down to the butts and do what you wanted to do with them.
No, I just took my husband's ashtray and used all of those.
Oh, that's why you smelled like cigarettes. Okay. I thought you went and got a pack of cigarettes and like.
No, I had to arrange them all though. It's like my hands just stunk for days. It's actually really good timing. Yeah. It's good timing because he's just quit smoking, so I couldn't do this again now.
But just right off, like there's this crazy with like the background is different. The like main image is masked, but I think you actually physically cut these out and put them over other images. And then you can see, I thought you were being a dick and these were caption boxes. So I was like, what the fuck is this saying? And when you look in, it's like GPS directions, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, this is nuts, dude.
It's GPS directions to get from my house to the La Brea tar pits, actually. So people could kind of stalk me from this book. It's like, I think that a lot of the time a lot of comics don't have backgrounds these days. Like people get, I don't want to use the word lazy out loud, but I already have, so fuck it. And I was like, well, the point of a background is to create is to put them in a place, but it doesn't necessarily need to match with like the image in the foreground, right? And so that first page, I was like, I need people to know that she is in front of an enormous crowd. I need people to know like this is a candlelight vigil. I need, there needs to be clarity of story in that. but this needs to be close on her face. She can't be looking directly at the reader. She can't be looking like, and I need the microphone. So I was like, fuck it, let's do 3 different perspectives. So I did this huge illustration of this crowd all in pencil and with some charcoal. And then I drew her more traditionally, just pen and ink. And then I didn't want to define what her hair or skin color was. And so I decided to make these collages out of maps of LA, because I figure she's sort of like made up of all the pieces of where she's living. And so that's what makes up her hair and skin. And then put all those things together physically, and then did I put the drawing parts together physically, and then I digitally put in the photograph of the maps, and then a painting of fire underneath the whole thing, and then set a mask to overlay that, and that's why it has the orange. And all of these seem like really easy decisions to make in the moment, but this is happening across like 3 days as I kind of piece the page together from different parts.
Wow. The time spent, I feel like it paid off, man. It was a very cool experience. This is that cover, the cigarette cover. This is kind of what you talked about last time you were on the show. This was like an all-day process, right? This was you spent a long time on this.
So this was sort of the discarded pieces of another cover that didn't work. The original idea was so like the concept in the book is that she is this being of pure inspiration who is like both becoming static as she becomes mortal, but also breaking apart as she emotionally falls down because of this huge grief she's going through. And so the original cover idea had been to have like a clear face blasting apart and like capturing a sort of mid-explosion with this like powerful light coming from within the head. And I was going to create that all in this huge fish tank using those crystal balls that you put flowers in that are like clear when you put them in water.
Yeah.
But I bought enough to make 30 gallons of that. And then the ones that arrived were too big. And so when I photographed it, everything looked like too fragmented. And so what it initially was I created a mold of my friend's face, and then I cast it in silicone gel, and then I got a body piercing or facial piercing practice kit and cut it all up and created these jagged edges. And I was going to position them all within the crystal soil, and then have glow sticks inside the center of the head done in rings, so they'd just be like lighting it. And then I was draping the whole fish tank in a garbage bag, and then setting the garbage bag on fire so that it would like burn upward and let different shafts of light in at different times, and then photograph it all with a really like slow shutter speed. So it essentially capture the different light passing through it at different speeds. But again, like it just looked too fragmented because of the tiny, tiny balls. So this is, I took the cast that I'd made of my friend's face, and I scooped out all the back of it and turned it into an ashtray, and then put that on a mirror inside. In order to get it just far enough away, there's a sheet of glass on top of the mirror just to hold it a little higher, and that is inside one of my dog cages with a tarp draped over it, to kind of just create the emptiness of the background.
That's so nuts, dude. I wish I could think like that. I want to start taking better. I like this camera is great for like 4K. It's a small body 4K video camera. It's supposed to be pretty decent for point and shoot. I can't do a lot of fancy stuff with it, but like street photography and cool angles and so, man, I'm trying to get into photography, or like cool ways to like even product photography, like cool ways to take pictures of books and comics and shit. And it's just like, I can do all right with design stuff, and I'm learning and I'm actually getting jobs from it. Right. But it's just, I can't, my mind is, it doesn't think like that. Like I need it to I want it to think weird, and it's like, I don't know. I can't figure out photography.
Well, I think like a big part of it is short. Like, you got to be in the 3D space with it. Like the hardest thing with this one was, so the cigarettes obviously put like a lot of ash inside in the back of the clear silicone. And so I had to kind of keep like rubbing it away with my fingers, hence why they ended up stinking so bad, to like try and get enough light coming through the thing. And I wasn't like, in the first like batch of photos of this, the eye was too dark in the reflection. I was like, I need some light to be coming like directly through that eye. And so I'm down on my hands and knees inside this cage, holding this camera, and then with my other hand, I'm reaching up through and just coming into the mask with a power drill and just drilling away at the back of the eye a little bit at a time, just to see if it'll like let any more light through. And I'm terrified that it's gonna like go through the eye, and then I'm just gonna have this big fucking gaping hole there that'll look like a titty drawn by Mick. And I like, ruin the whole thing. You know?
It's okay. He'll redraw it though. Like he'll do it again.
It was terrifying.
I'd draw it again. Yeah.
I got it to like I was getting like a faint thing of light, and then I was like, "Fuck! I still have all those glow sticks." And so I took one of the glow sticks and I smashed it open, and I actually rubbed a little bit of the glowing goo on the outside of the eye that's facing down, and that's how I got just enough of a little bit of a glimmer of reflection in that eye. Because without it, like the face doesn't kind of read. Also, if you don't know this about glow sticks, the thing that snaps is glass. And so if you then try and rub your finger on something with that goo, you will cut the fuck out of the end of your finger. So don't do it.
I definitely did not know that. Wow. This I thought was interesting. You don't often have variants from other artists. This one was an intriguing and it's awesome. It's great. I love this. I love the superhero vibe, and I love the play off what happens in the book. So like this is really dope. But what was the thoughts on getting these alternate covers?
I'm working with Space Between Entertainment, and they are a publisher who they have an audience who love variant covers. And so I said, if you guys want to do variants, do them. And I have no expertise in this. I have learned that like when I have a Jill Thompson variant cover on one of my books, my cover still outsells it, which is stupid to me because her work is better than mine. My audience like my covers, I think, because I'm the one doing the stuff on the inside of the book. And so I said, I don't know what I'm doing with this. You guys oversee it. I suggested Ryan Best because I've been wanting to work with him for a long time for the other one. And then the metal variant is actually a page from inside the book that I did.
I think this is a smart choice for metal. This is going to look slick. It's slick as fuck. It's going to be so cool. It's a great assortment of covers. That's so is this I didn't even look. Is this a Space Between campaign?
Yeah. It's under, so they are now at a point where they have so many campaigns coming out, they have to have multiple Kickstarter accounts. So it's under the Kickstarter account.
Crazy.
Which it's all so complicated. But yes, it is a
space. So this book's getting marketed and pushed out to like all their other campaigns and their mailing list and stuff.
I think it would if it had them as a collaborator.
Well, I mean, they can still do updates with links to it and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, their email blasts are epic. So that's cool, dude. When did you team up with Pat Shan?
Pat has been asking me to do something with him for a couple of years, and I acquiesced about a year and a half ago. He said he wanted to start having some gay porn in his day-to-day life. In his in the Cheeky Comics line. And I did a short for him. I was like, here are the rules. You have to trust me that I'm the only gay person that you know. He's like, well, that's not true. I'm like, no, it is. And anything I tell you is true, and you are not allowed to give me notes on this. And he was like, Richard, I trust you. You are an expert on gay pornography. And I wrote a story called Spot On, which is about two men on a business trip in a hotel room, and one of them comes out of the bathroom and is absolutely flabbergasted by how accurate the bidet is. And then they start talking about how, like, on some level, they just sort of thought their butthole placement might be more individual. And the idea that they're like that average makes them a little bit sad. And then thinking about buttholes that much makes them want to fuck. And Pat said it was one of the most horrifying reasons for sex he's ever read. And then he was like, well, how about we get you to draw write some straight porn next? And so I did a 2-issue thing called for Kylie in Public, which was a spinoff from one of his anthologies. And it's about a dog groomer who gets into public sex. And yeah, then all through all of this process, he was like, please just do a space between book, do a space between book. And I pitched him something which was going to go ahead, and I was just going to be a consultant on, because I didn't have the time to do it. And it got delayed because of essentially the working title ended up being the same as the title of a film that got announced. And he was like, well, until we have a new direction for the title, we'll just put this on hold. But we still want something by you out this year. And I said, I've got this other thing, but if we do it, I want to be the one who draws it. And I want to have like a lot more control over the thing. And he was like, that's fine. I trust you. And so I actually sent him the first script in March last year and drew the first issue in April. And it was like very much a more standard comic. It was like pen and ink all the way through, very like realistic and grounded, and very like detail accurate to the real LA and the Hollywood Hills. And something about it never kind of sat right with me. And luckily there were some delays with the publishing because of colorist problems. And I was able to like stop and think about it and say, like, I don't want to draw the next 3 issues of this. It'll kill me. I'll get so bored. And I said to him, can we scrap the first issue? I know you've already paid me, but I'll do the first issue again for free if you let me do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to rewrite it. And I want, like, if this woman is leaking inspiration to everyone around her, and that is like a big part of the chaos that swells up in this story, why would that not be affecting me as I create it? And so that was when I decided, like, I want this to be 1,000 layers of, in every image. And I want to be doing every single different thing. But at the same time, I'm trying to almost exclusively utilize art skills that can be taught at an elementary school level, because I want it to feel like the best possible version of stuff that everyone can kind of look at and know how it's done. Because I want it to be like, that feeling you get on a fucking Sunday afternoon when you know that tomorrow you have to go back to work, but you just want to make something, and you look around your house and you find like cotton wool and popsicle sticks and just start jamming them together to make like a raft or a tree fort, whatever. Like, I want that kind of mentality to every single page. But like, with the not to brag skills of a moderately good drawer who's in his 40s, to put it all together and like make this kind of crazy layered art.
Okay, all right. A lot of what you just said is really inspiring and wonderful, but I want to go back to a couple parts.
I find it incredibly depressing to hear Richard's process, because that is beautiful. Like, it is physical poetry that this man creates, and I'm like, can I use less lines to get these pages done faster and just draw bigger boobs? That's like all I want. That's all I'm interested in.
You scrapped the whole first issue that you drew because you weren't feeling it, and what you redid is this.
Yeah.
That's
if you don't
insane.
mind redrawing stuff, you should work with Clay, because he's going to have you redraw everything. You can do it as many times as you want.
Now, I once worked with Clay and David on a variant cover that then they asked me to block out the penis in the image, and then they didn't use it for variant cover, and they put it inside the book.
He showed me that in the office, and I was like, "What are you doing? You're sitting on gold. Why would you cover that up?"
Hey, Mick, I'd sit on that too. I'm gonna get not from that drawing, but I am gonna get Grandpa Munster with his cock out as a tattoo on my calf.
Did you ever draw Grandpa Munster's dick for one of your books?
Steven, it's in Nightmare Theater 3.
Yeah. It's at the end of it. Yeah.
And I will say it is the best treatment of 3D of anything in that book.
There's a 3D dick in it? Oh, shit.
That's the one.
Clay spent a lot of time on that. Every other page, he was like, whatever, it's 3D. That's good enough. For that page, it was a labor of love.
The pages, the ones you did from 1 and 2 were disturbing. And I think I haven't, I still have 3. I haven't read it, the whole thing yet. So now I know.
I mean, 3 also has my story about, I could be misremembering this. 3, I think, has my story about the woman who forgets to shut down the Domino's pizza tracker and realizes it's still tracking the pizza through her body. And so as she's shitting it out, she tries to figure out how to gamify the system by ordering different toppings.
That's funny. Yeah, it's the not safe for work venture is really intriguing, and you know what I've heard is like, well, first of all, book talk, right, and basically like the younger readers, right, because for a while people thought that people weren't reading anymore because that's what it seemed like. It seemed like no one was reading shit, but now this new book talk, well, it's been around forever, right, but the smut readers they're running out of good smut, right? It's riddled with like bad AI smut and people like letting AI write these things and cranking them out and loosely editing them, and so like that it's being the market's being flooded with shit like that, right? So what they're turning to is comics and graphic novels. It's a lot easier to sell graphic novels to the book and novel crowd, but you know, with comic smut, there's not a lot of like trade paperbacks, hardcover collections, of smut. So,
well, there used to be.
Is there? But I mean, there's not now.
No, but what I mean is, like in the '90s, Fantagraphics had Eros Publishing, and that basically got them through like the '90s. But if you used to go to comic stores back then, there were sections, or like there was a box with all the kind of smut comics, and then they just kind of disappeared. And Kickstarter, I do think one of the reasons why they've become so big on Kickstarter is because that's the only place to get it.
It's the blockbusterification of comic stores.
Yeah.
But even what sucks about that is it's not as bad because you have to label them and warn people if you use AI. But like even then, a lot of the Kickstarter smut it's not very good, and it's not. I don't feel like they're paying a lot of money for art for these books. Like, Pat, and then like Pat Shan's doing it right, and then Pat Shan even had adult models like pose for some of his covers and stuff, like popular ones that like won awards. I only know that when I worked at Metal Ninja, we did a cover for him, and we looked her up, and she had like anal scene of the year or something. I don't know. That was
oh my gosh,
she had a great ass, anyway.
Such a terrible
you
job.
just had to look that up for work, huh? Like
I did. I work hard and really go all in.
Penetrative double dogging it in a comic before.
Well, and then I followed her on Twitter, right? And because we were like sharing the cover, and she got tagged, and Metal Ninja was tagged in it. And then so all of a sudden, like now, like on Twitter, like sometimes you just be scrolling and it's like hardcore sex scene. It's like because she would share scenes and stuff, or like and I was just like, this is a lot to just randomly scroll. Like like I don't know who's next to me when I'm on my phone.
I'm at a point where I have to be really careful which Bluesky account I have like set to open on my phone.
Dude, Bluesky is so weird. Bluesky is the weirdest place.
My Dicks by Richard account, I mostly follow accounts that just post like sick fucking hogs all day long. And like if I open that at an airport, it's always a scene,
Right. It's sick. Also, I want sick fucking dogs all day long with like a bee eating a hot dog. That's the t-shirt. Sick fucking dogs all day long.
I want to be clear. Starfucker is actually not smut. There is I think it's cerebral. It's like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but sadder and scary. Okay. Like, sorry, I'm sitting
the whole
shitty...
second part of the comic. I was wondering. I was like, well, I don't know. Well, I was like, I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know if there's a power, like a superpower thing going on here, or if it's all in someone's mind, right? And I had fun playing that guessing game and not knowing, even when that to be continued hit. Like, dude, you're on to something. And again, like the story you told, the fact that you just knew in your bones that you weren't happy with this thing, and you already got paid for it, and you could have just went with it, all right? But you felt bad about it, you felt weird about it, and you scrapped a whole issue and then made this. It's mind blowing.
So the way the new one was made, like this is talking about risk. I I told Pat that I would do all 4 issues in December and January. And this is before I'd made the decision on like how to create each page, because I worked out on average each page is a combined sort of 4 to 6 pages of what should normally be completed art. Because a lot of the like even the smaller panels I'm drawing like enormous because I want to have like a crazy level of detail to certain faces and things. But on December 6th, when I finished the last book that I had to do before it, because I was running behind because of all the travel, I rewrote the script and I stripped away every description except for like basic locations. So it was essentially just dialogue and locations, and that was it. And then I was like, I said to myself, like right early on, I do not need to tell these moments in order because this is about being caught in chaos. So like you were saying, the GPS thing on page 1, on page 2, you start seeing these overlaid panels that someone is driving to this location and it's their GPS. And you realize they're watching the scene that you're seeing on their phone while they're driving. So the GPS is interrupting the scene you're seeing. And so as this happens, the scene that you're seeing on their phone is getting more and more out of time with the scene that you're reading in the comic. So you're starting to get this repeated dialogue of what she's saying on stage versus how it's coming through the phone. Because it's really important that at the point where the guy who looks a lot like Trevor throws the candle at her and it catches her hair on fire has to happen on stage while this woman is still in her car so that she can see it pull into the parking spot and rush there to like put the fire out because she needs to stand there burning for a while. I wanted, like never burn the witch at the end of the story, burn the witch at the beginning of the story and then see how she copes with it. And then like, because so many people are going to be talking about what's happening, I wanted this, like so much of the middle part to feel like the way, like that coming up next on whatever Jersey Shore is this, and you see like the situation smashing a fucking bunk bed through a wall, and then you come back from the break and it shows them smashing a bunk bed through a wall again while people are already responding to the fact that the fucking situation did a thing, and you've already had clips at the beginning where they're like, I can't believe the situation did this thing, which you haven't yet seen happen. And like the way that all like that crazy media coverage of shit swirls around us. And so the fire gets put out. She has a coat over her, and she's like rushed off the stage and into the limo, and like put in the limo and is driven away. And we don't know what's going to happen. But like I can just tell that as a whole stack of drawings of photographs that will be printed in magazines later that are out of order and shuffled around. But so you can see several individual reactions. And you can tell from it that she gets into a car at some point during that. And she also gets rushed off stage at some point during that. And also someone steps out of the car and welcomes her in. And also some security guards are around her, but none of it in the right order. And then over top of that is just 4 panels of like some fucking like chump on TV being like, hey, and tonight we're seeing this big exciting story happening in entertainment where blah, blah, and like giving the backstory. So you're getting like, why is she on stage? What is this she's reading? Why are these people reacting to her this way? And like then like and then like the glib nature of how they describe her being literally set on fire in front of a crowd and no one fucking doing anything about it. And like none of that can happen in a script. Like I mean, I guess it could. And this is why I lettered this book myself, is because it would have been fucking insane to look through it and try and write a lettering script for someone. But like I wanted every single thing to have that swirling feel. And so even in these quiet moments, I'm having like through issue 2, she's in the hospital. And every time there is like a quiet moment of people waiting in the waiting room, I'll have people like scrolling through TikTok. So pouring out of their phones are like dozens of like vertical images of like different people talking and commenting. And so you're seeing half a sentence at a time from a bunch of different podcasters and live streamers and shit. And then as people are walking through the hallways, different exam rooms in the hospital will just have doors opening to like show a close-up of a face with a big like microphone like Blake has and a headset on, like saying some dumb shit about the nature of celebrity. And like it's about like the way that this we are always observed and we are always like analyzed by every aspect of something, and like fame is the ultimate curse. And this is literally the thing that is going to kill her, because like her immortality, as I like it, I don't know if it's in the version I sent you, Blake, but the first caption and the final version of this thing is something along the lines of like, immortality lies in abstraction. Once we become static, we begin to die. Her immortality is literally that she gets interpreted in paintings and music and poetry and stories. But now in this age of like social media, she can only be the one thing that she is being defined as by millions and millions of people. And that is what's making her static, making her die.
Did you like write a script for yourself, or were you like
I wrote
comicking where it just like you get to that blank page and it's like it tells you what it wants to have on there?
So I wrote the full dialogue for like what she reads on stage, what the guy yells at her, what gets said when she's like rushed off stage and put in the car, the conversation that happens in the car, and then some like loose direction of what happens when she gets home and wanders through her house, goes in and like I don't care about spoilers for this thing because it's such a vibe book. Not in the way you're saying, but like in the way of like reading it. People can know exactly what's going to happen and it won't change it. Like she gets into a car that's under a cover in her garage and turns on the engine and like just blisses out listening to her dead husband's songs. And like it ends with her falling unconscious. And that's the to be continued. And, you know, this is something that normally would just make her feel a little bit high, but in this state of staticness and mortality, this is something that'll kill her. And so I'd written that had happened, and my friend Alex and I, who actually created the concept of this with me like 10 years ago, he's a musician, and so we sat down and we actually wrote the lyrics to the song that's playing for this, because we it's very easy to write like a generic pop song, you know, or something that, like without the music of it. It's very easy to write lyrics that can function as a generic pop song. But then I was like, he's married to the most inspiring creature on the planet. We have to write a fucking good song. And so we wrote.
So are you gonna release, you know, like your Alan Moore vinyl as a companion piece with it? Is that one of the stretch goals?
Not for issue 1, but there are 5 songs written, and we know who the singer would be for it if it goes well enough. Yes.
Yeah.
And like, but you know, the album cover that gets seen in the book it's a photograph of through the bars on the fence around the tar pits where the mammoth is drowning. Because I really like the idea of like an artist created a representation of someone who will be drowning forever, and then a fence was put around it so people can only watch and no one can help.
Yeah.
And so then the lyrics of the first song are about like, who was it who put that there and why did they decide to do that? And then like, how is that represented through like different times of like, what do we remember from this, like the stories of spurned lovers versus the stories of like heroes who save the day, and which ones get overridden. And like, you know, I can do that, or I can just do a generic pop song. So like it's not so much vibe. It's more of a, I know the events that have to happen, and I have almost all the dialogue. All of the commentary from the media was written later and during the lettering phase, and all of like the tweets that come through were written later, because that's kind of more of a, I don't know how much room I'm going to have on any page for like how many tweets.
So like minus all like the deep meaningful stuff. That's kind of how I do the Mars books, where it's like, you know, I have like these goalposts about like, you know, I want to hit this moment at this time in the story. And then like the rest kind of fills itself in as I'm working on the book, like how to get there. So that's fascinating that like, because it just sounds like you have so many like creative plates spinning at a time that like, I don't know how you wrap your head around it.
I mean, a lot of it is just like, I have a very good memory, you know, and like I'm losing my mind a little bit right now because I'm in New Zealand for a friend's wedding, and also like saying that this is sadder than Eternal Sunshine, like while I'm looking at myself in this like weird reflective version of me as I sit in. I'm having to like really position myself carefully because I spilled some KFC on my stomach right before we started, and I'm surrounded by like empty candy wrappers and a broken lampshade in the shitty hotel because I booked my flights here and was going to stay with my mother, and then she moved into a retirement village, and staying with my mother in a retirement village is actually not the perfect vacation for me, despite the obvious joke. So like sadder than Eternal Sunshine really describes everything right now. I don't know if I love it. But no, I'm thriving. I'm trying.
Tell Mick about your 24-hour comics.
So,
no, Mick, fuck off, dude. It is nuts, dude. He's insane.
I mean, like, just having read like the Richard Fairgray stuff I have read, like, I find it deeply uncomfortable. I can't imagine that, like, Richard Fairgray, like 18 hours into a 24-hour comic experience is.
Have you read any of my little 100-page horror books? The little ones I've put out?
No, I haven't. I've just read your nightmare stuff, and
I started doing these little books about a year ago, where they're 100 pages each. It's 49 illustrations, 49 sentences, and basically, as soon as I have an idea for one, I just take 3 Ritalin, put everything else aside, and work for 24 hours to finish the entire thing. And if I finish in 24 hours or less, the book gets published. If I don't finish, the book gets scrapped. So there are 9 that are published. There are 4 that have been scrapped. I just wrote a 10th one, which I can't draw because I have no fucking drawing equipment with me. So I'm just like, I've got it. It's worth it. I can give it. I'm allowing myself 23 hours, which is fortunately the exact amount of time that I'm going to be home from New Zealand before I have to go to my next convention. It's about a guy who sees a woman fall from a building on his way to work, and she's still there when he's on his way home. And it's about how the town adapts to a fact that there was a woman who was perpetually falling from a building and screaming, and how they begin to like justify what she represents to them and then blame her for all their problems.
Whoa.
And you know, Mick, my kids are big Richard Fairgray fans.
Oh, are they?
Well, you know how they like good boobs?
The Richard Fairgray, like, little golden book for children, like, I'm sure just incredible.
Nick, I need you to go on Amazon and look up my name and see my like 11 picture books for 3 to 6-year-olds, and then my whole range of middle grade graphic novels.
Right. And then I met Richard, and I'm like, no, that can't be the same.
Yeah, you have like a little dinosaur comic, right? Like you drew like
Blastosaurus. Yeah, I did that one.
Blastosaurus was slightly more adult, but yeah, there's like 30 something issues, 45 issues. Jesus, 45 issues of that, then a bunch of like altogether there's 100 different Blastosaurus titles. Wow. Or like 97 Blastosaurus titles, wow, including like activity books and shit. But the activity books are like insanely complicated cryptic crosswords. If they ever ask me to write Batman, it's just going to be about how the Riddler comes up with his clues. I'd
read that.
It'd be good, wouldn't it? If I write Superman, it's about how Jimmy Olsen's a bigot, and if I write Batman, it's the Riddler coming up with clues.
Oh, Jesus, that'd probably be a Black Label, or maybe a absolute Jimmy Olsen is a bigot. Batman snaps his arm.
The comic has just been like this one is the most intensely engaged I've felt by the process of creating. Like I turned my entire garage into like a studio for this one, so that I could like all the because she's like made up of everything, right? Sometimes her skin is maps, sometimes it's pages of like rock star memoirs, sometimes it's dictionaries or encyclopedias or science textbooks or whatever. And they're all, I've torn up hundreds and hundreds of books, which is easier than burning them. And then like created these like 8 by 10 foot canvases that I'm just photographing different parts, sometimes backlit, sometimes not. So that like whenever it's the memoir stuff, I want to see the text from both sides so that it like distorts it enough. And again, no one's going to fucking know this looking at the book. They're just going to be like, oh, there's a texture. And I'm sure someone smarter than me could just do it in Procreate, I guess. But
you could drop like a zine with how you made this book, like afterwards, like a back matter.
Special features.
I know that this one's just going to be the standard 28-page comic. And I'll see what happens moving forward, but there's a lot that I would like to do with this, and I think that the trade could be quite an incredible piece.
Besides
Oh,
content,
yeah.
did Space Between have like format restrictions for you? Like it has to be, so many pages so it can be a monthly release, or were you given free reign on that as well?
Because it was such an ongoing negotiation for, like I'm doing everything on my own these days, and Pat knows that I've had bad experiences with larger publisher or middle range publishers. And so he was very much like, what do you want to do? And he told me, like, we don't normally do anything above 22 to 24 pages. And I said, I can tell you right now, this needs to be 4 28-page issues. And he says, do you have a script? And I said, no, I just kind of know. Like,
You just
I've
know,
done this
yeah.
enough
Yes.
that I can
I mean,
can sort of guess the pacing of it. And he was like, okay. And he was really nervous. He was like, we've never done anything that is like that long as one series before. And I was like, well, I'll take all the risk off your hands. I said, if it doesn't do well enough for you on issue 1, which I don't think it will, honestly, because we have a very different audience, then I will just take it over, and then I'll publish the others, and you've paid me for issue 1, and I'll make the other ones anyway. And so
that was one of the.
You're at 153 backers, man. Like that's nothing. I mean, that's something. You still got a week, so you're probably gonna break 200. I don't know what I don't know what a normal I don't know what a normal.
I mean, like, look, Space Between have a huge audience, but they have a huge audience that is very geared toward like a lot of variant covers, and also very geared toward like Pat is the main writer, and like I think it's very hard for, it's not like I feel the same way. Like there are people I want to collaborate with on some of the Richard Sucks titles, but there's just no way that the people who want, like, the reason people don't buy a Jill Thompson variant cover on a Richard Fairgray book is because they want the very specific thing that I do. Yeah. Like I have a small audience, but they fucking want everything I do. And that's
wonderful. I mean, like you are the brand more than like the book is the property.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I can't be slotted in onto something else as easily. And I'm very aware of that whenever I go in with any other company. And so it's like, it's very nice that Pat is giving me not quite enough rope to hang myself, but absolutely enough rope to like do the things I need.
I mean, if you take this book back and then like run it through your own campaign, do you feel like it would perform, better, worse, or about the same?
No, like it'll perform worse because I won't have that Space Between audience. Anyone I get from issue 1, I hope would like to come back, but like I know that like if I take over issue 2, which I probably will be, I'm not going to be doing like variant covers. By people. I might not even do a variant cover by myself. It might just be one cover because the cover for issue 2 is so fucking sick. I don't know why I'd want anything else.
That's a topic we're dealing with right now in some ways is like, a lot of people, how many add-ons can we get? How many variants can we get? How many patches can we put on this? Can we get 3 covers out of this one piece of art? Right. And I see it work, right? I see sometimes the covers sell and the campaign used to go $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 or whatever, maybe even more. But now there's a new people coming up now, and they're like, I just, I don't want to do add-ons. I don't want to do all this shit, right? If you want me to send this thing internationally, we're going to do a book, right? Yep. And it's like, and we're going to do one cover, and it's like, or maybe like a book in a slipcase or something. Anyway, it's more of like a minimal reward system now, and it's not like a huge trend, right? But I'm seeing it develop, with the increased price of shipping, increased costs of production, especially with people doing more campaigns a year, right? You can't have all this extra shit. What do you guys think about that? And
a lot of, I mean, I do usually max, like, I mean, there's a few more because of the NSFW ones on this one, but what I find is like a lot of these campaigns, they do these numbers, but then you're looking, there's like 40 covers. There's like, and like I said, add-on, all that stuff costs money. So how much, it might boost your final number, but like, what's your actual taken on that, right? Because you still have to
Yeah.
carry all that inventory. You still have to store all that inventory. You still have to like pay for all that inventory. So I don't think the numbers might seem impressive, and for some campaigns they are, but I think like I've seen campaigns that'll do 6 or 7 or maybe 8,000 with like 10 or 12 covers. There's no way you're making.
Yeah, there's no way the numbers work out well on that.
Well,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
also
because it's like a lot of the campaigns I've seen, it almost seems like the covers are. Where did I read? I read it somewhere. Someone was talking about like they're essentially comic-sized trading cards,
Right.
and it's just like you've got so many covers, and it's like, you know, you've got this one pinup cover that you've managed to slice 12 different ways between safe for work, not safe for work, not safe for work, extra. And then like you've got spot full variants, you've got metal variants, you've got, you know, like you can buy one thing so many different ways. But then again, like each, you know, new variation on that, like is a production and shipping cost that you have to absorb.
And foil tends to come with minimums too, so you know there's just a lot.
It's crazy that foil and spot foil covers are more expensive than like metal covers. It's kind of funny. It's so weird.
I think that like the thing that kind of gets weird for me, you know, like I agree with, you know, do your safe for work, do your not safe for work. As soon as you start getting into like here's not safe for work and here's not safe for work X, like like you're now selling the characters by body part individually, and that feels a little too creepy for my taste. But it's also that like if you look at these things, if you do the math on it, a lot of the time, like you can make the argument that if someone's buying all 7 of your covers, or if someone buys multiple covers, you can count that as the total cost they paid for each of those variants is the total amount they were going to pay. If someone buys a variant cover for $20 instead of a regular cover for $15, and they don't buy a regular one, you don't get to count that as $20 that variant cover made, because more than likely, if that variant cover weren't there, they would have bought the regular one. You've gotten a $5 bump. So when you then start breaking it down to like, I paid $200, $300, $400, $600, $800 for this variant cover by whatever artist, then how many times does someone have had to spend that extra $5 before you're making that back? And you look at the numbers, and it's like 15 copies of this variant cover sold. And you know that and you can make the argument, conventions, you'll sell at conventions, blah, blah, blah. We all know variant covers don't sell for a lot more at conventions most of the time. And we all know how much more work it is to sell a variant cover at a convention and how much more space on your table it takes up. Because if you're someone who only has 3 titles, by all means, have some fucking variant covers on your table. But like, I'm working with 37 books currently in print and having to choose each convention which ones I'm going to bring.
That's a lot of books, man. How do you decide? Do you just bring like the newest ones, or do you like? Because I mean, you've got a following that's followed you for a while, right? So like some books, you're probably like, you know, well, most people have this one already. What's your thought process when you have years of publication? I'm sure this like, how do you?
So it's really scientific. It's really mathematical. I have like spreadsheets, charts, and no. What I do is I open my suitcase and I put a box in it, and then I grab books from around my living room because I never unpack from previous conventions. Like, I know I always have to take 30 copies of Octopus with me wherever I go, right? Because I know that will always sell out. And then from there, it's like there are certain cities where I know that like Haunted Hill will do well here, but I know it'll never do well as it's never going to be worthwhile carrying all 4 volumes. So I take 10 of volume 1. But beyond that, it's very much like if whatever the newest 5 things are guaranteed to be in there, and then everything else is kind of a mix and match, because it's not like I'm selling individual issues of things. They're all trades except for X-Wives of Frankenstein, which I only sell as sets now.
Nice. What about you, Steven? You're getting there too. Like you've got a lot of stuff, and you've got like you've got the volume 1 hardcover and the trade. Like, or do you take a little bit of everything, or do you push the trades now more that you have like that volume 1 collection? Like, is that easier to sell?
Yeah, I've got to do a trade for the second one, but the trades are like that's the main thing at shows. And then I sell a lot of singles. well, now that Volume 2 is complete, I sell a lot of those sets, and then I do take variants, but I don't really sell that. I mean, I'll sell one or two a show maybe, but I do like a lot of the themed variants. I do like Check Your Head, or we've done like Cobra, Scarface, things that are like tied into pop culture. I'll put them on a display, and that actually brings people to the table.
Nice.
Right. And then they'll usually get the book. But, I mean, variants don't really sell. I mean, a little bit, but not like, not crazy amounts. Like I said, like the themed variants move pretty, pretty steadily.
Also, like variants for issue 1 will do better than any others, but especially if you do have the complete set of something, they want matching covers. They want your A cover for every issue.
That's true. I sell a lot of sets, and like people will come in for the variant, but they want the set of the main covers because it's like matches,
What about you, Mick? You got a big old stack of books these days too, and Clay. You got the weight of all those books and Clay on your shoulders.
Like
literally,
I don't have that many books. He's a lot to piggyback around at conventions. Like the plus minus of Clay is that I have someone to split the table cost with. Obviously, split the room cost, split travel cost. But Clay has more books than I do. And so, like, the balance of the table is in favor of Clay because he's got books. He's got covers that homage pop culture. Like, he has an audience that moves products. So, like, I kind of end up as, like, table help more than, seller myself, and it's like
you're the booth man.
I can't get into the fucking conventions that are like in my hometown or 2 hours away in Kansas City. So like, I don't actually do that many shows. Like my show experience is very limited.
That's stupid. You're stupid.
It's stupid. I've been trying to get into Planet for years, and it just never happens.
That's crazy.
That's the Kansas City one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. I guess I was going to announce it the other day. Then we went to war. We're not at war. We're sinking battleships with subs and shit, like you do on a Tuesday. But anyway, I'm going to be at C2E2 like from Thursday to Sunday, and dude, it's so dope. Like I got flown out and a hotel room for Comics Pro. Now I'm getting flown out and a hotel for C2E2.
Look at you, like when we met, you had never been on a plane before.
I know, right?
And now look at you, you're a jet setter.
So yeah,
your goal needs to be never go on a plane on your own dime.
Oh man, it's so far every flight I have, I haven't paid for it. What gets me is the food in the airport. Like I bought a $40 cheeseburger at Guy Fieri's little. It was good, but
I travel a lot. Here is my advice for you.
Okay.
Alaska Airlines sell day passes to their lounge for like $45, and then you can just eat for free in comfort with good Wi-Fi.
What?
Yeah, it's always worth buying your way into a lounge if you're going to be in an airport for more than an hour and a half.
Well, fuck yeah. The Chicago's going to be nothing because I'm in Kansas City, but yeah, that would have been nice. Dude, my Comics Pro flight was nuts. Like I got to everything was good. It was groovy. I got my ride showed up on time, and I get to the airport and they were like, "Oh, your ticket's canceled." Like I was like, "What?" And they they were moving all these flights around because Denver had all this terrible weather, and then they ended up like fixing it. But when the guy's fixing it, he's like, "So I know what I got to do, but I can't do it. I got to call my boss." I was like, "Am I gonna get to go? Like, is this gonna be okay?" And so they kept moving stuff around, and then I was in the Vegas airport for like 4 hours. So yeah, if I could have spent $50 to fucking be a fatty boy in a comfy chair with good, actually could have worked because you can't download a goddamn thing in these airports. And then we couldn't in the hotel either. It was like, if you pay extra $5, you get the good Wi-Fi. And then I was even like, yo, I'm like here doing audio video for the convention. Like, I need to upload stuff. Can I just get the good Wi-Fi free? And the clerk was like, nah, I don't think so. And I was like, well, that's great.
So like we were like following your adventure as you were posting about it.
Yeah.
Because I was at my place in Canada, just south of Vancouver, and we just had the Vancouver Fan Expo. And Michelle Abinader was staying with me on the Tuesday night, and Ray and I were flying to New Zealand on the Wednesday. And I was like, looking at Michelle, being like, I don't think you're going to get to fly home. I don't know what to do. And like, we were on the train on our way into the city, and I was going to head to the airport, and she was going to go to a hotel. I was like, good luck. I hope you can go home soon. Yeah. And just like taking your updates for like, did he make it to Comics Pro? Is it okay to fly in America yet?
Well, and then Brian Garside, our Canadian friend and co-host of the other show, like he was worried too. He ended up making it, but what was crazy is because there was that huge storm on the East Coast, right? And all these flights got delayed, and I was cool because I was in Kansas City, but so everybody gets stranded there. And I would have had to shit out like $200, $300 or something for another night in a hotel. That part would have sucked, right? But DC took everybody to their offices and gave them a tour. So all these stranded people got to go to the DC offices, and then everybody ended up going to the Kirby exhibit at that museum. And Brian K. Vaughan was there hanging around. And so like my boss went, and they ended up giving Brian K. Vaughan a copy of the magazine. Like, that was real cool. Like I was like chasing people down. Like I interrupted like publisher roundtables. I was talking to Matt Kent, and I was like, Matt, I don't know if you remember me. I was like, yeah, I probably don't. I was like, I interviewed you a long time ago, and I was like, I work with your old coworker, like Adam Friedman now. He's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I help with the magazine. He was like, that magazine looks pretty cool. I want to check it out. I was like, you want a copy? He was like, yeah. And I was like, I can get you a copy. And he was like, he got like all excited. And so like, they ended up bringing me over like a sleeve of 12 of them. And I started handing them out. But yeah, I went up to Matt Kent, and they were like giving their publisher presentation, and they were cool. Like they were at the Oni table, and I like handed them out, and Oni was like, you guys want a picture? So we ended up taking a picture. I caused a clusterfuck like everywhere I went, like trying to put like magazines. I like ran into James Tinian. I ran into James right before he went to give a speech, and I was like, are you about to go up there? And he was like, yeah. And I like had the magazine in my hand, and I was like, all right. and then I like after his speech, because I was running audio video, and like we got to a spot where like I could take a break, and I was like, man, I'm never gonna find him. And so like I went out, I was like running around. And I like went to the hotel because it was crazy, like the people you'd run into in that little hotel bar. Like it was gnarly. Because I was in the hotel that the expo was in, right? So just like Rosenberg was always there. Like they had chocolate milk. I heard he like loved chocolate milk. There was a couple times like he's just got this little deal of chocolate milk. And so anyway, like you never knew who you were gonna run into. Literally bumped into Hickman in the fucking like lobby. Like so like it was nuts. So I'm looking around, I'm like, damn it. And then I like almost bump into him, and he's running by. I was like, James. And he's like, oh, what's up, dude? I was like, can I get a picture? We take a picture. I was like, have you heard of Comics and Magazine? And he was like, oh, yeah, I have. And I gave him a copy, and a lot of cool people. I cried in Mark London's arms, the president of Mad Cave. Cause Mad Cave helped me out a while back. They helped me buy a laptop. Like it was Mark Mad Cave did. Mad Cave Publishing like sponsored some shows and helped get people on here and did some giveaways with me and stuff. But like, Mark has a special place in my heart, and like he was there. He like gave like a presentation for Mad Cave. I was like, holy shit! It's like, dude, I ran up and gave him a big hug. And every time I tell the story, I tear up. Like, I told him, I gave him a hug, and I was like, man, I wouldn't be here if people like you didn't believe in me, and thank you. And like, he was like, dude, I was like, it's like, oh, it's just good to see you. And anyway, I was like, hey, I gave him a copy of the magazine, and I was like, we're working on this, and it's really cool. And like I said, I just appreciate you and just wanted you to check it out because we're doing cool stuff and you guys are doing cool stuff. And I was just like being a fucking goon, right? But anyway, like it was really cool to meet him finally and stuff. And I really felt like I didn't feel like a podcaster anymore. Like I was like, people keep talking about like being in the room, and it's like when you're in that room, you're there for a reason. And I find that shit finally started to click with me that like I joke around and say like I stumbled into shit, but I work pretty fucking hard, So anyway, it was a very emotional week. And I'm still like,
and that's the first time no one called security on you.
Yeah.
What's really interesting, Stephen, I don't know if you saw, Mark London was just on a podcast the other day talking about how like important it is to be able to pretend you remember people when they come up. Sorry, we were getting way too fucking sincere, man.
No, I've thought that because there were a couple people that like I met that were like, oh yeah, Blake's Buzz, I've heard of you, and I was like, I started being like, I think some of these people just say that, right? Because it's like this is a convention, they're representing companies, people want to make deals, there's a lot of schmoozing.
I mean, yes and no. I do think that like your branding is solid enough. Like I see a lot more hate love comics, read more books, whatever.
Yeah.
Shirts in the wild than probably any other podcast shirt at conventions.
Yeah, people keep telling me I need to make new ones.
I think just really make them like fridge magnet poetry where we can rearrange the words. I'd enjoy that.
like Velcro, different stuff.
Or get them. What were those shirts that color changed? You could put your hands on them so you could reveal the message.
Yeah.
Oh, the heat dye stuff.
Yeah. I bet that's cheap.
You would. You're like your multi-layered media panels. You would be like, do a t-shirt, but
like, I'm sitting here like losing my fucking mind in New Zealand. By the way, I have seen literally every single film that is screening in this country already. Like that is where we're at. Like I saw How to Make a Killing twice. It's boring and bad, and I saw it twice. I'd love it if Margaret Qualley would do something different once. But like I'm spending so much of my time. I'm trying to draw 1,000 dicks while I'm here. I'm at like 480 so far. I'm still got another.
Oh my God.
Before I go home.
Is that going to be like a new like 1,000?
I'm working on a thing called 10,000 dicks. 10,000 dicks, and it's going to be a 40-volume set. But
amazing.
I've already drawn all of my Cocktober dicks for this year. Like I finished Dixar, the Dicks of Pixar, which will be out, I think, April. But I'm now spending my time just like watching like videos on like optical illusions and like how to do different like photographic techniques development to try and see like, is any of this going to be something I could use in this comic?
I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of you like staring at those old like 3D posters at the mall. And it's like I can't see the sailboat, man. Like
I am
sailboat.
I am Willem in this fucking situation. It's gonna kill me, but like this, like the cover for issue 2 was meant to be a whole series of like masquerade masks with different textures, sort of as like the sort of stream of different faces.
Okay.
And then I'm like, hang on, there's all this like IV imagery because she's in the hospital. What if I created something that was like entirely done through bubble distortions? And then what can I print that will like, what can I print on that will look like bubbles? And then I'm like learning how to like melt tape. And then if I can print something and then heat the tape and wrap it on something, I could create distorted bubbles that I could draw reflections and then have them like positioned to look like real world. And like, this is not something I should be doing. Like I should just be making the fucking, because you know what the other problem is, I don't have any other books to release right now except for like this 24-hour one that I'll make when I get home. But like I still have to like finish making this whole series, and I can't put out anything else before it. That's risk. See, I brought it all the way back. We go back to risk. I did it.
I mean, they can't yell at me for not talking about the thumbnail topic this week, even though I do think we sort of talked about liking unlikable characters for a short time last week, but I
think that's the general theme of the show every week, and I think you've got that.
right, yeah.
I
like
also
your
want to say,
podcast host.
Risk, last time I saw Steven, someone in our group, I can't remember who, was in the process of stealing a napkin dispenser from a restaurant. So that's risk.
Oh, I remember who that was.
Yeah, no one remembers who that was.
Must have been
Well, it
a
was
nice
one of
napkin
4
dispenser.
people.
It was one of 4. It was someone who had to make a donation box to have at their table for a project to make Trevor's life harder. A regular donation box at home. So sorry to that restaurant, I guess.
I'm sure they watch the show.
See, that's the kind of confidence we need.
I mean, who doesn't watch the show these days? My goodness. All right. I guys, it's been so fun catching up. I know it's getting late. I know some of you got families and kids and deadlines and all sorts. You probably got movies to watch again. It sounds like Richard does.
Look, there's new movies out tomorrow. Tomorrow I get to see The Moment is finally making it to New Zealand, and The Bride and Pillion. So like tomorrow is sorted.
Man, you always see
after that.
You always see the new movies. I'm jealous. I haven't watched a movie in a hot minute, man. This work's been busy. I haven't been cooking. I haven't been reading. Haven't been cranking. That's right. Haven't been cranking hog. No, I'm just.
I spend a week in
I do that all the time.
What
What are you guys are silly out there? What are you doing? It's ridiculous. But anyway, I know it's getting late, obviously. But I want to go around the room. I make sure everybody knows like where to find you. If you got websites and stuff, newsletters, I want you to shout that out. And if you got other stuff coming, like I said, I got links in the description for everything you guys got going on right now. Everybody can find that. You can get very easy. Click the link. Go check out Mercy. Check out those amazing covers. You can go check out Starfucker. We scrolled through the page, like scroll through it again. Look closely at that art. I challenge you not to want to pick that up. That's going to be a nuts book. I can't wait to see where those other issues go. But all right, let's start. Mick, let's start with you, baby. You've been quiet for a second. Where can we find you at? Obviously not Planet Comic-Con because they're a bunch of pricks.
I can't. I'm so mad. I'm not angry. I'm just mad about it. I'm at McComicer everywhere. Everywhere being the socials I'm on.
Everywhere
30
Clay
seconds
lets
every
you
day
go.
to post a single image. Yeah. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Bluesky, Kara, whatever that one's called.
That's still there.
I guess it's still there. I'm currently working on Mercy with Steven.
Those
if you want
tits.
to pick this up, we
Whoa,
can do that.
look at
part of the
that.
Kickstarter, I suppose.
Yeah, let's throw that in there. Wow.
It's pretty fun.
More money.
Wow.
And I could be back in a couple weeks, Blake, if you'll let me, because I'll also be going back to Mars this month.
Ooh.
If you're interested in the alien movies.
Well, the sexy alien pinups kind of new. That was like he's hugging him, twisting. Or I don't know, was that a girl alien or a guy alien? I wasn't sure.
Maybe
it's the girl alien. There's the titties. I see them now.
Yeah. That's what people pay me for. That's what
the
people
alien
pay me
tits.
for.
Those weird alien inverted nipple. They're like outverted and inverted simultaneously.
Yeah,
Very
right. The best of both worlds. Yeah.
Kind of. I'm interested. I wonder what the mouthfeel on that would be. It's a food joke. Anyway.
Jesus Christ. Hot takes and comics and mouthfeel of titties.
That's why they tune into the show, folks. No, I love Mick's art. He posts a lot of it. You should follow him. It's a lot. These days I'd much rather look at cool art than the other shit I keep seeing online. So yeah, I appreciate the distractions and always excited to see what you guys going on. And we love Clay so much. We always joke, but it's funny when Clay's around, we all pick on Mick, and when Clay's not here, we pick on Clay. We're all hypocrites. No, but it's I love you guys. I cannot imagine. I feel like office shenanigans with you guys are just. I don't know. I just feel like work days would be a lot of fun over there.
It is really nice, like having a shared space, just to like bounce ideas like back and forth immediately, or it's like, problem solving at times in comics. Like it's great. I recommend it.
Nice.
But also live in the middle of the country where no one wants to be, so that everything's cheaper.
It's super cheap. Are you gonna be at C2E2 or Planet, or just wandering around or anything?
No, not C2E2 this year. I'm gonna go up to Planet like just on Saturday. I think my only other convention this year then is San Diego, where I'll be mostly with Clay and Steven in small press. Like I'll just be splitting time. It'll be, shared custody. Like when I was a child, they'll meet at a McDonald's. I'll go with the other one until it's time to get turned back. Yeah.
You're going to get double allowance, buddy.
Yeah. Which one of you wants to buy my love with toys? That's all I'm interested in.
I don't think
I'm going to wig at Disneyland and scurry you out of the country.
I don't see them taking me to San Diego, but I keep kind of hoping that like
live in hope.
Yeah, like I just I keep trying to work real hard when they take me on these events, and now they know that if they take me someplace, I will almost tackle Jim Lee to put an issue of a comic book that we make in their hands. Like I'll do that. But I'm kind of because I mean things are okay, and I'm the things are good right now. But like I couldn't afford to pay that flight for myself and then pay like the hotel costs and shit. Like I couldn't afford that.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like I'm worried about Chicago just because like. Dude, Comics Pro was dope. Like we got to eat this. We got breakfast was free and we got a huge fucking lunch. And then sometimes I'd eat like a small dinner or order to go, or we went out to eat a couple times. And so like I didn't have to pay for a lot of food. And then, but like Chicago, I'm on my own. So like I got to go pay for, I got to go Uber to stuff and, find time to, and pay for, hot dogs.
If they're making you go, they should pay for that shit.
It's not there. I don't get a per diem. It's weird. It's fine. It's I still get to go. So
all right.
No, it's it's whatever. I'm probably gonna go to the store. That's what I plan on doing. I'm probably gonna be a cold hot dog hotel sad dinner. Maybe get a couple cheesesteaks or a pizza one night. I don't know. I'm gonna get to go. What sucks though is, also, because of there's that Reed Pop controversy, right? The parent companies and ICE contracts and shit. And we had a lot of people thought they were going to address that at Comics Pro during their presentation. They thought they were going to come out and kind of try and get ahead of it. They didn't mention anything. But anyway, it seems like a lot of people that were going to be at C2E2 are coming to Kansas City instead. So like this Planet Comic-Con is fucking nuts, astronomical. And I could just go to Chicago for Friday, Saturday, and then leave. And I almost thought about like doing Friday, Saturday and going to Planet on Sunday. I'd have to pay for Planet out of pocket though, because I didn't sign up for press or anything. But I just, even if I have to pay for food and shit, like dude, another 5 days away from home, I don't ever get to go nowhere, man. I'm soaked. It's like having my own hotel room is like, I felt like a fucking king, man. I felt like I was Rose at the end of the Mechanic, or at the end of the Titanic, not the Mechanic. At the end of the Titanic, just with my arms out.
Blake, you've got a place. That's the beginning of Titanic, but you've got a place to crank it for 5 whole days. Steven, where can people find you?
Are we ready?
No, I think the show's over. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been great.
What I love about Blake's show, he always makes it about him.
Yeah.
It's all called Steven's Buzz.
All right.
We love you, Blake.
Love you too. Where do we find you? You gotta tell us where to find you, Steven.
You gotta say the words out loud, Steven.
I'm at Monster Matador on all social media. It's also www.monstermatador.com. And we're on Kickstarter right now with Mercy in Prison.
And it's good. There's a link.
No link in the description. To Clay Adams.
Yeah. Right. Clay Adams making it impossible to schedule comics since 2002.
Right.
Or I don't know when it started. I know a guy who's trying to get into voice acting. I know it's making it about me again. But this is really a story about Clay. But he had a question about voice acting. And I told him, I was like, man, I'm a podcaster. I don't know nothing about voice acting. And then I remember, I'll ask Clay. And I sent Clay a message and I was like, hey man, like, how do you do auditions and stuff? Like, do you send them in or do you have to go somewhere? And he basically was like, no, yeah, I have a nice mic at home and we do stuff and send it off. I was like, cool, thanks, man. So I tell this kid, I'm like, hey man, this guy, Clay Adams, he said to do this. And he was like, you know Clay Adams? And I was like, yeah. Anyway. Clay interrupting the show again, not even here. Richard, where do we find you at, bud?
I'm Richard Fairgray everywhere, mostly on Bluesky. Dicks by Richard on Bluesky if you want to see just some sick fucking hogs every goddamn day. And Starfucker #1 is on Kickstarter right now, and that is spelled with 3 asterisks in for the UCK and Starfucker. But if you just go to kickrichard.com, that will take you to whatever my current Kickstarter is always. So do that and back the fucking book.
Definitely back. It's so good. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, but this is different. It's a different next level, and you're on to something. And again, just the story you told tonight was really, really inspiring. Because, like, man, sometimes you let it defeat you when you get to that part, and you didn't. You wadded it up, threw it in the trash, and tried again, and executed magnificently.
The whole point of life is to figure out how many comics you can get made and how well you can do them, right?
Yes. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's the best way. That's the best way we're going to end this show tonight, I think. I have given you a few amazing comic book creators to follow and some amazing indie comics to check out. And I really, 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 really hope you do. Follow these guys, like all their posts, check out their Kickstarters. Always remember, love more, hate less, read comics, get out there, be nice to people. Where's my mouse? We got to click this button. Good night.